Buenos dias, buenos dias. CITO is back. It's been a while and I completely unplugged from crypto. I shut down my phone, I shut down my laptop, no crypto prices, no nothing, no Telegram, no Signal, no crypto Twitter. And to be honest, it's been very, very helpful. It's been very refreshing. I feel very recovered and detoxicated from crypto, right? Because crypto is a very toxic place. It's very fast moving and it occupies your mind like no other industry because it has no off switch. It's 24/7. But I'm back, and in this video, I want to share with you the recap of what happened over the past 10 days and also some of the crazy stories on crypto Twitter. We have Andrew Tate now in the arena with his meme coins that he's promoting left and right, and many other things. But let's start one by one, and I really want to emphasize this because I know that there are a lot of you that just feel overdosed by crypto. They just feel overdosed by this constant dopamine that checking your portfolio, checking the prices, being on crypto Twitter. There's also a lot of crypto gossip now on Twitter and a lot of stories back and forth between influencers, celebrities, meme coins. It's just very, very addictive. And I know some of you are touching grass every now and then, but I think a true detox is at least something that really helped me a lot. Where you go out and we basically touch grass, but at least for an entire week. And you don't do anything, you don't even open your laptop, no crypto for an entire week. Go to a place, rent a car, go travel, and just explore and reconnect with the real world, with the real physical world. And I could only truly understand how urgent some people really need a break after I took my own break and came back on crypto Twitter and saw some of the tweets, saw some of the conversations, which really in the end of the day are just a sign of some people being overdosed with crypto. So that's my point here. Point number one and most important point, if there's one thing you take from today's video, it's really that, right? And if you are overexposed, overdosed by crypto, take a week off. Obviously, this is an industry that changed my life. If you've been around for 5+ years, it also definitely changed your life. And yes, it has huge upside. It can make you financially free, independent. It can make you rich quick within a couple of years, right? And years is very, very quick. If you make $1 million within 5 to 8 years, you are very, very fast in becoming a millionaire, right? Normally that takes decades for people, but crypto allows you to do that within years. So yes, crypto is amazing. It's a life-changing industry. It's a new innovative technology. But the flip side is you can get caught up and addicted to the constant flow of information, price movements, and all these kind of things. So don't take this lightly. And that's really my first and most important point of today's video. But of course, we have a lot more to discuss today. We have the big Andrew Tate story and Andrew Tate's meme coin and 10+ projects, including Celestia, Berachain with big news there, and many more. But let's start with some macro news. Number one, macro news, ETF flows on Bitcoin. We saw yesterday $100 million in inflows. The day before, however, we saw over $200 million in net outflows. And the day before as well, over $64 million in net outflows. So 2 red days after 19 consecutive green days. And we also saw a massive $886 million net inflow day on June 4. So overall, we saw billions in inflows over the past week, but we didn't see much price movements. Bitcoin is still at 67,000. It actually went down or sideways. I also saw a great thread from someone on crypto Twitter who was basically saying that those are cash and carry positions that some of these traders are opening. They're like complex trading strategies on how they're basically purchasing these ETFs, but then also shorting Bitcoin to hedge their positions. And it's basically a price neutral trading strategy in which there is basically some sort of arbitrage that's being generated, which is why the Bitcoin price apparently hasn't moved. That's one theory. On the other hand, I think Bitcoin just went up so much. We just had the ETF being approved in January. Then we had the Bitcoin halving. Now we have the Ethereum ETF. We have election year. And we also have some major news there as well. But we're already trading around all-time highs for Bitcoin, right? So I think, and I've been saying this before the break as well, I feel like now it's overdue for an altcoin season. I already see some people that are calling for altcoin season to be canceled, which is always a great sign because when everybody's convinced or surrendering at the bottom, this is when we're really washed out all weak hands and weak minds. And from there, we're going to go up. And from there, we're going to see what's the least expected scenario. So I still believe in an altcoin season. I think and hope that Bitcoin will consolidate around those levels. No crash, no major pump. Ethereum also needs to start running. We also have to wait for the Ethereum ETFs to start trading. So that's still something that hasn't really moved since while I was away. But that's all about the ETFs. We have some major news though on the TradFi space. Robinhood, for example, they are now acquiring Bitstamp. Bitstamp is an OG crypto exchange, and they acquired Bitstamp for $200 million. And that obviously means Robinhood is betting on crypto. And the co-founder and CEO, Vlad Tenev, also said that they believe crypto will fundamentally reorganize the financial system. Those are big words from one of the most successful finance applications in the world. And this is also important for crypto adoption in the USA. And speaking of which, I also think that this man is going to make crypto big this year, because he now came out and basically called himself a crypto president. Now, I am not a US person. I'm not a US citizen. I'm not eligible to vote. And I actually don't really care, because I know politics is very, very messed up. Trump had 4 years during which he did nothing. He actually called Bitcoin names and talk really bad about crypto during his presidency. So I definitely don't just blindly believe what he's saying. But what he's doing with that is that he's positioning himself very, very smartly to get the votes of the crypto community this year at the elections, right? And he said himself that there's roughly 50 million people in the USA that hold crypto. And for those people, they're probably swing voters, which means they're neither Democrat nor Republicans, but they just probably vote what's best for their own bags, right? And I think that's all fair enough. And at the end of the day, that's probably where every single individual, where most of their decision making goes down to. But this is going to be a big topic this year. And Balaji also said this is the first Bitcoin election this year. This is the first Bitcoin election, and crypto and Bitcoin could really be the decisive category, the decisive topic for this year's election. So this is very interesting. Donald Trump even went further and said Bitcoin mining may be our last line of defense against a CBDC, central bank digital currency. I talked about this a lot over the years, how China is already leaps ahead for developing and rolling out their own CBDC, the digital yuan. I actually wrote my bachelor thesis about that topic in 2020. So CBDCs are coming. Trump is now pro-crypto, against CBDC, which is great. At least verbally, he's saying that if he would get elected as the next president in November, which is only 5 months away, so that's around the corner pretty much, then we have to wait and see for his actions, right? Because now it's just words, but we would have to see actions. But I think this is going to win him the election, to be quite honest. It's just my gut feeling right now. In that context, crypto adoption reaches 562 million people. 6.8% of the world population now own and use digital currencies. That is actually not bad. That's a lot of people. That's 500 million people. And 6.8% is a decent number. Number one is actually the UAE, which is where I am actually based out of right now. I'm based out of Dubai. If you are recognizing my background right now, that you know I'm not in Dubai right now, also because there's some trees here. But if you're an OG CITO subscriber, you might even remember this has been my second location where I started the YouTube channel here. UAE, number one, 25.3%. Obviously, it's a relatively small country, and a lot of people are also going there because it's friendly crypto regulations, friendly corporate regulations. There's no personal income tax, so very low bureaucratic efforts, and so on and so forth. But also India, 8.3% for the largest country by population. They have over 1 billion. I think India flipped China when it comes to population. USA 15.5%, which is also big. Venezuela 10%. They were forced into crypto because their own currency, the Venezuelan bolivar, imploded, went to zero, is an absolute shitcoin. So people were forced into crypto, also because the government imposed capital restrictions, capital controls. Same counts for Argentina. Those are all hyperinflationary currencies with strict capital controls, which is why people are forced into crypto. And then Singapore, also probably similar to the UAE, around 24%, but also because of the very pro-crypto regulations and low tax regimes. Governments are not only stacking Bitcoin and crypto, but also the overall education and legislation is making some progress. So that's good. But let's get to the Andrew Tate story. So Andrew Tate, you can think of him whatever you want. I don't have strong opinions. I think his core message is actually, there's some good things that he's saying. Generally speaking, I think he's just, he's great at speaking. He's probably one of the best speakers out there and most articulate, very entertaining to listen to him. And so is this video. This is a 17-minute video. I just watched the first 10 minutes, but it's just very fun and entertaining to listen to him. He's a master at his craft, but he's just calling crypto people losers. He's very, just like talking shit about crypto for 17 minutes while promoting a lot of meme coins. And this all started, I guess, just shortly before I went off to my vacation, where Iggy Azalea or something launched a meme coin called Mother, and then some of the other, and Caitlyn Jenner and some other celebrities launched coins and then got racked and got betrayed, and like just a regular crypto celebrity cycle, which came early this year, to be honest. But now Andrew Tate also jumped on that train, And Andrew Tate, I think he held Bitcoin for a long time and Ethereum and some others, but now he's also on the Memecoin train. And obviously all crypto Twitter is jumping on this. Bottom line, there's a lot of meme coins around the Tate brand that apparently Andrew Tate didn't launch himself, but there's one RNT down 31% now. Like a lot of these coins are down really, really bad, like 90, 95%. Then there was also some beef with Iggy, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but Andrew then basically, went really hard behind Daddy to be bigger than Mother. And this coin now overtook Mother and has a $250 million market cap. So it's just like the regular crypto celebrity game. I also saw some tweets saying basically that somebody purchased around 30% of the supply of Daddy just before Andrew Tate made the first tweets, implying basically that Andrew Tate would have bought up large chunks of the supply. And then publicly what he's saying is basically he's not making any money of this. He's burning all his coins that people sent to him because he shared his address, bam, bam, bam. But anyways, let's get to actually important topics, to real stuff, to real fundamental stuff that's actually important information and educational content. The way we're going to do this now is I have updates from our three media partners, from Pstake, Aleph Zero, and from Interprotocol. And then we're going to do some crypto news, and then we're going to finish it off with 2 or 3 projects that are in stealth right now, but that are probably going to be having a big splash once they launch. Number 1, Pstake by Persistence. So Persistence is a Cosmos L1 that started off as the liquid staking provider in Cosmos in 2018-19. So very, very early in Cosmos, very early in liquid staking. They went through a lot of iterations. Obviously, Stride captured a lot of the market shares in Cosmos. So Pstake now is all eyes on Bitcoin liquid staking with an integration of Babylon. Babylon itself is going to be a big launch this year as a full-on Cosmos chain that enables Bitcoin restaking. So basically, Babylon is the eigenlayer for Bitcoin as a Cosmos chain, and Pstake is going to be leveraging Babylon technology to issue yield-generating BTC. So this is going to be the end game for Pstake, and they will also have yield strategies with CeFi, L2s, and a lot more. So this is cool to see. And the pstake.finance website is also now mostly around Bitcoin. So Pstake is really doubling down and going all in on Bitcoin liquid stake. In that context, also what's been formerly known as Dexter is now rebranded to Persistence DEX. And the Persistence DEX is basically an integrated application on the Persistence One chain. So this is the native DEX of the Persistence ecosystem. And there are some interesting pools here. I talked about this a lot. LST pools with Atom, stablecoin pools with USDC, USDT with 12% APR. So not bad. And also more and more now Red BTC liquidity pool. And Babylon itself is going to have a phased rollout of their mainnet. So Bitcoin liquid staking is going to launch around the time. Everything is already in progress, work in motion. And Pstake just tweeted here that they deposited BTC into Babylon's testnet 4. And it's almost there. We're almost there. I think Babylon itself is just weeks away. They just announced this massive $70 million fundraiser. I made a video about that also before my time off. Persistence has a dual token system, basically XPRT as a native Persistence token, and then Pstake as the native token for the Pstake platform, mainly for governance, but for the liquid staking platform. So yeah, those two tokens are coexisting. And there's also the announcement from Dexter about their rebrand. Switching gears to Aleph Zero. Aleph Zero network usage is rising significantly. So you can see all of the RPC calls here on chain. Also, TVL has been increasing steadily to over $4 million. I made a lot of videos about the Aleph Zero ecosystem now coming together. So Aleph Zero is not actually a Cosmos chain. It's actually a substrate build chain. But Aleph Zero is all about interoperability and ZK privacy, which is also itself one of the most underrated categories, I think, this year in crypto. So Aleph Zero growing in on-chain volumes and numbers, and the Aleph Zero ecosystem itself, like I said, is coming together nicely. We talked about Kinsu. They're in the auditing phase, preparing for mainnet release. Abax is also about to go live. Then we also have this DRK VRS, which is a game that is going to launch on Aleph Zero, and some others here. So there's like liquid staking providers, lending protocols, like the whole DeFi ecosystem, but then also the gaming ecosystem. And they're just building their own thing, which is really cool to see. And this really just started a couple of weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, as the Common DEX launched, and Most, which is basically a bridge between Aleph Zero and Ethereum. Some of the highlights are also the Aleph Zero campaign, which is basically an airdrop campaign. So common drops, I also talked about this a lot, where you are basically similar on how Stride, you get an airdrop in STRD for liquid staking on Stride. Here you also get an airdrop in common tokens for using common and for providing liquidity here. And you can see there's also some interesting pools, also stablecoin pools, USDT, USDC, with 27% in APR. And the volume is around 100K a day with 4 million in TVL. And this just launched, 2-3 weeks ago. And yeah, this is the first round of their airdrop. There's more to come. But yeah, you can basically farm CMN here. And lastly, we also have some news from Inter Protocol. There's an info.inter.trade overview site now where you can see how many IST are in circulation, 1.52 million, which is not a lot, to be honest. And I think for me, the biggest bottleneck for IST is actually UX, poor UX. That's why also when I made a tutorial, I basically told you guys, the best you can probably do, if you're not a sophisticated veteran in DeFi, is to just buy IST on osmosis or something, because the UX is still really bad, but it's going through a full revamp right now. So it's going to take a couple of weeks and months, but minting IST is going to be a lot easier moving forward. And it has to be. It needs to be a lot more intuitive. I still think that having a native stable token that fills the UST void that Terra left is very, very important. So Inter Protocol could be the one and should be the one, the decentralized stable token in Cosmos. And also there's some updates on the recent Agoric proposal that was basically asking for Atom from the on-chain treasury on the Cosmos hub to be then liquid stake with Stride and Pstake, to then be used to mint IST. And obviously, as they are also media partners, we talk a lot with them. I talk a lot with Bob and part of their team, and they are aggressively going to incentivize and roll out the marketing around Inter Protocol to raise more awareness. There's going to be more and more giveaways, so watch out for that. You can maybe win some IST there. Anyways, that's Inter Protocol. Now moving over to general crypto news. I hope you all watched my dYdX interview. I noticed the views were not that high, and I think also, whenever prices are going down, people are less interested and don't really want to hear anything about fundamentals and education, all this stuff. And then we have some news from Celestia. Blockstream, which is their Ethereum framework, is now live on the Ethereum mainnet. So this was built by Succinct Labs, and they launched it already on Base back in March. And now it's live also on the Ethereum mainnet, which means you can now deploy a high throughput L2 as permissionlessly as a smart contract. So I'm not a very technical person, which means I don't know what the trade-offs are, but this basically means that Celestia is now more and more Ethereum aligned. Celestia itself is a full-on Cosmos SDK blockchain, an app chain for block space basically, and they're now fully EVM or Ethereum compatible, and you can deploy an L2. And I think this also always been the mission of Celestia, is to launch an L2 or launch a chain as easy as a smart contract. Then we also have some news from Akash Network. They also had a huge chain upgrade the other day, which was done and accomplished within minutes. And they also now launched Akash Chat. So it's fully permissionless, no logins, no passwords, free to use. And the chat history is locally stored in a browser to protect user privacy. You can try it out here. I haven't done it yet, but I need to do that ASAP. So AkashNet, definitely one of the biggest Cosmos chains there are. And I think if you are bullish on the AI narrative, AI infrastructure, then you need to follow Akash, you need to follow Greg Rosuri. I also talked about it in recent videos. I talk about it all the time. I think AKT right now, I haven't checked my portfolio in 2 weeks, but I think AKT now is the largest, still is the largest coin in my portfolio, because I bought a lot in the bear market. I also saw some back and forth between AkashNet and IONET. So IONET just launched and had a big token launch on Binance. Has a $6 billion FTV or something like that. And then Greg said, he used the product, but it didn't really work. And now this obviously escalated, as it always does. Kyle Samani, Multicoin Capital. Kyle has also been on the channel here, by the way, a couple years ago. He came out to defend IONET, but didn't really have strong arguments. So, and Greg knows his shit, obviously. So he's not really bullish on that. But I don't know. I'm not an AI expert, so I'm not sure who is right, who's wrong, but it sounds like Greg is right here, just from reading some of the tweets. Anyways, we also have some big news from Berachain. The B2 testnet, B-Archeo, is now live. They're saying Hot Bear Summer is beginning, and apparently this is including some more features that are more and more Ethereum aligned. Berachain itself obviously still a Cosmos chain in the end of the day, but they are also now trying to align more and more with Ethereum, and you can also play around with the testnet. They also said, I think that Smokey said it, that obviously both are incentivized, and there's no distinction between testnet 1 and testnet 2. So apparently those are both equal, and you can play around there. We did a lot of tutorials and content around the Berachain testnet and how you can, at least not miss out in case there is an airdrop. Stargaze is a bit of a problem child because the Stars token is just going down only 1.2, 1.3 cents. Obviously, a project that the entire Cosmos is very bullish and grateful that we have them. Obviously, biggest NFT marketplace in Cosmos, great UX, great team, we all love them. But the Stars token has been going down only. Now they are about to roll out V2, Stargaze Marketplace V2, which also has better value accrual for the Stars token, as far as I understand. But while I was away, the slots have massively pumped. Now 360,000 Stars floor price. And I still don't have one. I don't have a single slot. I didn't buy one. And obviously, while I was away, I didn't even check on it. But this is massive. That's like $5,500 now. Obviously, Stars price has been going down. But the floor price is at all-time highs in Stars terms. So congratulations if you minted some slots and if you hold some. Another NFT collection that I actually have minted is here on modularium.art. I talked about it when it went live. This is on the Forma Chain that is also using Celestia for DA. And Stride, in collaboration with Hyperlane, has built a bridge to Cosmos. So you can basically bridge over your TIA to your MetaMask wallet here, and then you can mint this collection here. In terms of airdrops, we also have Saga with the Vault 2 snapshots that apparently happened on June 11th. So yeah, this is also ongoing. There's always going to be Saga airdrops moving forward, which is why I think it makes sense to just stick in compound Saga. If you believe in a project, obviously there's needs to be a given. If not, then just probably sell your Saga. But yeah, staking and compounding Saga gets you all these airdrops. So far we got 2 Saga airdrops, and now we're getting the Saga ecosystem airdrops, and maybe also a redistribution of the unclaimed Saga airdrop amounts to those that actually claim, that actually stake, that increase their stake. We know that Saga really rewards loyalty, so we have to wait and see what airdrops we're getting here. But yeah, if you are staking Saga, then you're most likely getting this airdrop. Then also Penumbra, which is one of the most highly anticipated privacy chains that are launching in Cosmos, is about to launch. And we also know from the Osmosis page alpha that they're launching the token in June. So there's 2 weeks left. And they're now aggressively tweeting here. Something is happening. Then also we have some big news about Mars Protocol. So Mars Protocol is going to entirely shift the project. Number one, they are migrating the Mars token to Neutron. Right now, Mars has their own chain, the Mars chain, the Mars L1. But they're going to migrate to Neutron. Neutron is this Atom-secured smart contract platform that is closely aligned with Delphi Labs, with Apollo, with Astroport, and now also with Mars. And this means that Mars is going to fully migrate. And in that context, they're also burning half of the community pool tokens, which equals to 30% of the total supply. So that's also a bullish burn for the tokenomics on Mars, and also new revenue streams and so on and so forth. So yeah, closely aligned with Neutron, which is good to see, which means also good for Atom and yeah, some other things. I think on Atom we can probably do a separate video, but because there's also been a lot of things that have been cooking about Lorenzo protocol, the Babylon integration, Hydro that's now in the auditing phase, which is basically Atom Wars for basically monetizing liquidity on Atom, and many other things. But yeah, one after the other, I'm just catching up with everything. Obviously, it's a lot that's happened. That's why also today's video is a bit longer. I want to leave you with 2 quick things. Number one, Nillion. We with CITO are pleased to join the Nillion validator set, and also we are invested into Nillion. I'm also investing myself as CryptoCITO as part of that. And Nillion is a project that's been around for quite some time now, and they're building a blind computer. So it's all about privacy in the end of the day. And Winnie from my team at CITO made a nice video about that, which I strongly recommend you to watch. And they're currently in testnet. You can also find us here with CITO, rank 15. And yeah, we're going to be there on mainnet as well. Part of their chain architecture is also a Cosmos chain. So basically, Nillion is also part of the Cosmos ecosystem in that sense, or let's say the interchain. And it's good to see, right? Like all of these projects, all of these chains that are using Cosmos technology under the hood, and they're not necessarily bragging about it, right? Which I talk about it a lot. It's like, it's also not necessary. But yeah, Nillion, good to see that they're launching. And then also BitCosm, which I've just heard about from 2 people, actually, from 2 sources, that this is going to be native Bitcoin on Cosmos. As far as I understand, it's going to be its own Cosmos L1 that's using Celestia for DA and is powered by the dWallet network and is fully IBC enabled. So yeah, we have to see what's cooking there. I think the main guy behind this project is Robert, ex-Umi, who's also been at Hackmos around Cosmoverse last year in Istanbul. So yeah, interesting to see that project. I don't know a lot about it, but yeah, I think they're still in stealth. But maybe, yeah, this is why subscribing to CITO, because here you get the alpha before the alpha is even alpha, right? Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you're still around. I hope you didn't forget me during my time off. And I hope you're not giving up on crypto just because we're in the sideways phase for a couple months, right? Like I said earlier, expand your time horizon, see this for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, right? And if you make $1 million in the next 5 years, that's already quick money, to be honest, right? Anyways, that's all for today. I'm going to see you very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.